Welcome back to Beyond the Release Outdoors. Caleb here. Got James with me. We're headed down to TAC for the weekend. Oklahoma TAC.
We are about halfway. We've been on the road for two and a half hours. About to stop at Subway and Antlers.
We just drove by about 100-year-old RV that was towing something behind it, and it sounded awful. I'm surprised the wheels aren't falling off of that thing, but they're probably going too soon.
Thing was rough.
So we got around him before we started videoing. But we're pretty excited. We're going to stop and get some food here in a minute. We've been talking a lot about kind of the difference between the Shot 3D and the TAC. We did the Shot 3D a few weeks ago, and we did the TAC last year down here in Broken Bow, and they're pretty similar events, really, but as far as like courses and stuff, but there is a big difference as far as the size of the production. You know, the TAC thing is a lot bigger deal. So you get a lot of these famous archery guys there and stuff. What do you think about it, James?
Biggest thing I see is like Shot 3D is like real. It's really, really good. It's very, very well done. They just haven't grown to the size, and they will. Like, I really, really hope they keep going. They're great guys. Brian is awesome. Awesome to talk to. TAC is just, it's insane. There's so many people. Like, I think when I signed up this time, I got pretty lucky. Like, when I signed in, I think I was only like 700 or 300 in line.
Yeah.
Last year I was like 1,400 in line, but there were six of us that I bought tickets for.
And it helps to have already done it before to know how the process works. So
yeah, that's true.
That's something to think about if you guys want to go to a TAC event ever.
Prepare.
Do a little research and know what you need to do to get registered. Don't just plan on logging on there whenever you want to and do it, because it's
I had everybody's emails, address, phone numbers, shirt size, everything wrote down on different pieces of paper, and like I was ready. I think I had 3 phones last year. I think I did it on 1 because I only had to buy 3 tickets this year. So we're shooting. What are we shooting first? We're shooting prime course at 8:30. This year.
So we don't have to wake up too early.
No.
It's not too bad. We got time to wake up, have a cup of coffee.
Hopefully we go get breakfast.
Hopefully there's coffee at the cabin.
Yeah.
That'll be good.
We're shooting Friday only, and then we're headed back to Oklahoma City. We're going to.
Unfortunately, we kind of scheduled. Well, I guess we didn't schedule it. It was just scheduled that way, and we didn't think about it in advance. But I say unfortunately, but both things are fun. We got tickets to go see the Boys from Oklahoma tour in Stillwater, which is a big red dirt concert they're putting on. Cross Canadian Ragweed they're pretty well known. You know, I mean, everybody knows them in Oklahoma.
Turnpike Troubadours.
I think they're pretty well known around the country too. Yeah, Turnpike Troubadours will be there. So Saturday we've got that we had already got tickets for, and then they put out the TAC schedule, and it just happened to be that it was the same time as the concert. So what we're doing is we're headed down here and going to shoot for one day. This is a Thursday night. TAC is Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We're going to shoot all day Friday, stay the night, and then wake up Saturday and head back. This is 4 hours away from where either of us live, roughly, and so we got a lot of driving this weekend. It's going to be real fun. I'm going to be real nice and tired.
My wife will drive us to Stillwater, so we're good there. We can sleep. But the other thing that was different about Shot 3D is, man, I think the course that we shot, the hard course, it's called Tybo's, like Tybo's Archery here in Oklahoma. Tybo's archery course, I think it was harder than the prime course attack.
Well, they had more.
It was ridiculous.
They had more shots that were over 100 yards. So
Yeah.
and from
125
what I remember,
yard buffalo.
from what I remember, TAC last year, about the longest actually shot on a course was at like 101 yard moose, I think.
Yeah, or the 101 yard.
Sasquatch or
Yeah,
something.
Sasquatch.
Yeah, that was on that knock on course.
Yeah, that was the last
green
shot.
Sasquatch.
Second to last shot or something like that.
Yeah, I think that was John Dudley's pet Sasquatch.
Last year we got a little spoiled. Last year, a guy we went with and we're going with again this year, Seth. He had bought the new Bowtech. Is it the SR?
Yeah, SR 350.
The Core SR.
Core Core SR.
He had bought the Bowtech Core SR, and it was the new bow. So, the marketing guys at Bowtech were there, so they followed us around, took some pictures of him, and did all their questions, and that was fun. That was cool to see. I got the new Elite. Hopefully they'll do the same thing. Huh?
Yeah, I don't know if Elite was there last year or not.
I don't know.
But Seth stepped up his game and got him a Hoyt this year. So.
Oh yeah.
No, I wouldn't say stepped up his game. They're all good bows.
He's good.
But he did get a Hoyt. He's got the same one I've got, only the lefty version in a different color. But
yeah.
So
it's just me, Caleb, Seth, and his brother this year.
Yeah. Seth's a pretty good shooter too.
Yeah. Denny and Braden stuck at work tomorrow. I'm supposed to be there, but vacation,
Yeah, they said they weren't quite ready for this level of competition, and so unfortunately,
they just didn't make the cut.
Yeah, part of it, I guess. You want to be that way, but maybe they'll be ready for it next year or at Shot 3D.
Oh yeah, we're planning on going to. I think Denny's going to Fall River, Shot 3D, Fall River, Kansas. I would like to go to either Fall River or Arkansas.
Didn't we talk about going to Arkansas?
Yeah. I think the Arkansas one would be cool. Brian's actually said the Fall River one is probably a little bit, maybe not better, but it's really, really cool. There's like a lodge there.
Okay.
So I'll be interested in that.
Yeah, we'll have to look into it. I can go to either one.
Brian, you owe me a hat. I'm coming for it. The end of this month is the Fall River one, and then the Arkansas one is the end of next month, I believe.
Yeah.
So, whichever one we can hit, we'll hit.
Either way, I'm good with any of them. I love doing this stuff. But we're really excited about this one, guys. And James got a brand new bow, like you guys have seen. So, ready to see how he does with that new one.
Yeah, the Elite Artist.
Yeah.
It's going fast. Built some new arrows.
I think it's your first 3D event with it, isn't it?
Yep. I'm still sighting it in, so bear with me a little bit. I gotta have a little bit of a mulligan, right?
Oh yeah. Are you gonna try any of the novelty shots with it?
Yeah, I'm gonna try the 111. I shot 111 today a little bit, and some were good, some were bad, and it was pretty windy. But but the sight tape was right.
How many of those truck shots are you gonna take?
Oh, not many.
Yeah.
If I don't hit it on the first couple, I'm done.
I'm still deciding. I don't know. Last year they did buy 10 get one free, which is a pretty good deal. You save $15, but because they're $15 a piece.
Yeah.
So I spent $150 doing it last year, and it was my mistake I made last year was that I think we got there on that Sunday, and I just went out there and did it right away without warming up or anything, and didn't get any entries. And I was kind of all around the 12 ring, but just couldn't quite get it in there. And I wasn't really. The day before that, I shot really good, and after we did the course, after I shot there, and I shot the course really good, I just didn't do very well on that target itself. So I'm gonna be a little more prepared for it this year. I think maybe the time to do it might be after we've done one course. We're not too exhausted.
I think
we've got
that's
a little
the
bit of
best,
warm up in, So
and then, did you get any other entries last year? I got the the Ultra entry, the Jack Links, the lacrosse boot, and something else. There was a deer there. I don't remember what it's for, but
I think when we went last year, we were kind of trying to hurry and get on the course, so I didn't take very many of the other shots. If I remember right, I think a couple of y'all were trying to get out of here at a certain time.
yeah.
But I feel like I did one of the ones where you shoot through the middle target, and
it's
I
Ultra
can't
one was
remember whether I did any
most
good.
popular.
Yeah.
Last year it was, if you hit, I think it was 50, 56 or something yards. I don't know why I think that, but there's probably a hole about this big to get entered, and then like probably a little bit smaller than a 12 ring for like a free 6 right there, like a free half a dozen right there. You go down to the Ultra booth and they just give it to you.
Yeah,
that's what it was last year.
See, that's
off the top of my head.
That's cool when you can win something and actually get it right there instead of having to wait and see if you get drawn for it.
Yeah.
So I'd like to do something like that. I may not take as many of the, probably not going to do as many of the truck shots this year. Although that would be pretty cool to get that $80,000 truck and then sell it and make some money off the deal.
I don't know. I think you'd have to sell the Hoyt and drive, go buy you a Bear. You know, you got Bear Archery all over the side. You can't.
I'd pull that wrap off there.
No,
I can't drive around like that.
I would. I'd sell my. I'd have to buy a Bear. You can't drive around a Bear truck. No.
It'd take me a lot to go with anything but Hoyt for a little while until somebody starts making some really durable bows.
Yeah. I like my Elite, but
Elite's a good bow. I dry fired one and didn't have any problems with it, so I can say I can vouch for Elite. It was just one dry fire, I guess. You know, the Hoyt will take 1,500 of them. So.
Yeah. Oh my! You don't know till you try.
Yeah. Well, we're pretty excited, guys, and we're gonna have some hopefully some pretty good footage coming up for you. We're doing a lot of filming during the courses tomorrow, and all around the whole event. Try to get some good footage. I know there's a lot of other people getting footage of it too, so I'm sure you'll see plenty of it coming up. I know some of the big YouTube guys are going to be down there. I think Motorcycles,
Motorcycles.
Chris B is supposed to be there. I'm assuming Dudley's probably going to be there again, but
hope so.
It'll be cool, man. I'd like to meet some of those guys and talk with them, chat with them a little bit. If we have the opportunity, if we don't, it ain't no big deal. But, we're just excited to get down there and do it. These courses are fun, guys. If you've never done a tack event, you gotta look into it. And if you the tack stuff's a little more expensive and it takes some more planning. But if you're in the kind of the middle of the country, the Shot 3D is a really good option because you can just show up there. You don't have to pre-register.
Right.
You just show up there and start shooting.
I think when we did the Oklahoma one, it was 600 and something people there.
Which
is not crazy for like
there's probably 6,000 at this deal.
Yeah. It's not crazy at all. Like, and it's so good. Like that, Brian is like, I just met Brian once. Like, and I've messaged him a couple times. But like, he could talk to you all day. Like, all the kids get entered to win. There's a couple good novelty shots there. I think I got entered to win challenge. So challenged one of the guys that worked for Shot 3D. I don't remember his name, but challenged him. I won that one, and then did the Sever. You put it on the Sever broadhead and shoot.
Yeah, that was cool.
That was cool.
The one that I didn't want to do I didn't do it. Well, I think you had to spin a wheel for it.
Yeah.
But if you landed on the wrong spot, you had to do a certain amount of push-ups and then get up and shoot. I was like, I don't even know if I can do a push-up right now.
I wanted to do that one, but I'd rather do the challenge one. That sounds better.
No, I guess I'm probably in a little bit better shape than I give myself credit for, but I don't want to do any push-ups.
Denny got the Tulsa tackle, 2 in the medal. I hit the medal twice.
Yeah, Denny did awesome.
He got in there
I'll
twice.
tell you guys what, Denny and his wife Dina have not been shooting bows for very long.
4 months now, so 3 months then.
Both of them are leaps and bounds better than I was at that time.
Oh yeah,
they're getting really good. They're getting serious about it. They're getting nerdy about it. Like I didn't start getting nerdy about it until I'd already been doing it for 15 years. So and it makes it a lot more fun when you really start digging at it. But anyway.
Oh yeah, when you start building your own arrows and kind of tweaking with that and going, well, I don't care what YouTube says. I don't care what random guy says. I want to see what it does for myself. It makes you care more. Makes a world of difference. If like John Dudley or somebody says something like that, you take it. But like, there's so much information out there that might be wrong, it might be right, but you need to find out for yourself, and you need to find out, what does my bow do? Like the right helical, left helical stuff. That's kind of
and it helps in the air. It helps definitely to listen to some of those guys that you can trust, but build your own opinions off of what you're learning from them too. Because I know there's a lot of people that listen to John Dudley or MFJJ, and there's a lot of people that listen to Ranch Fairy. That's two completely different. Those are all completely different guys,
and they're all right, really.
Yeah,
Ranch Fairy, you want to blow through some water buffalo or some pigs?
Yeah,
he's correct. Like, can't argue with it. He's got facts.
Yeah, but it's all about what you're trying to do and developing your opinions and trying things out for yourself. We're learning a lot. I mean, we're not experts by any means. We're trying to get there, but we may never be. But we're learning a lot. We're shooting a lot better than we used to, and we're getting more people into it. But because they can see our passion for it, and it looks exciting to other people. So I like that. I like being able to talk to people about it. When you get enough knowledge about something, you can talk about it knowledgeably to your friends or whoever you're around. It makes them excited about it. It makes other people want to join in, and I want more people to join in. So
yeah, you want to show people the piece of also just being out there, whether you're shooting, hiking. It's better than being inside.
Oh yeah. But we were just talking about that a little bit ago about how on days when you think you want to sleep in and lounge around the house all day, it makes you feel awful, man.
Oh yeah, feel like a piece of crap.
Yeah, you got to get out there and do something.
Maybe that's just my brain, but
yeah.
What did you shoot attack last year?
What bow was it?
Yeah, what bow?
That was the Matthews Lift 33. So I got that bow last spring. I really like that bow a lot. I mean, I have other ones. I mean, I have the Elite Omnia still, and I obviously got my Alpha X that I did the review on the other day, but I really kind of...
That Omnia is awesome.
The Omnia was a great bow. The Hoyt is kind of my go-to now. I've gotten where I really like it a lot. But I did like that lift, and I've talked about that a little bit. Sorry, I got distracted there driving a little bit.
Lanes are ending here.
Going through some construction, so that's why I was kind of stuttering there a little bit. But anyway, the thing that I liked about that lift was the stability and how light it was. And, what I didn't like of it so much was the vibration, and I talked about that on that review the other day. I hear a lot of people really talking about the Matthews bows, about how smooth and dead they are in the hand, and that just wasn't my experience with it. But everybody's got their own goals for a bow. If your goal is speed and lightweight and stuff like that, you might choose one bow. If your goal is the most bomb-proof thing you can come up with, that's still pretty smooth and pretty fast and all that, you might go a different direction. So it's really important to get out there and shoot them and do some research and figure out what it is you like.
Same thing, form your own opinion.
Yeah.
I shot the Matthews Traverse last year. I love that bow. It was probably a little bit of the opposite of the lift. That thing was heavy. It's one of Matthew's favorites, really. It's real heavy, real smooth, but no vibration. I mean, quiet. You shot it. I shot your lift. I've shot your Hoyt. Shot the Omnia quite a bit. The vibrate. I agree with you. Vibration on the lift. It was just probably too light, and it just got them. I've seen a lot up for sale lately. But
yeah, I think that has a lot to do with the limb issues they were having, but I think they got that lined out. That's one really good thing about Matthews. I'm not here trying to bash on Matthews or anything.
they're great.
They're a really good bow, and we've been pretty impressed with the Matthews bows that we have. It's not my number one choice.
Right.
But the one really good thing about Matthews is their customer service, and they will take care of your stuff. And if there's an issue, they're going to take care of it, and they're going to take care of it quickly. And I think that's why they have such a loyal following. There are lights flicker in here.
Yeah, a little bit. So
anyway, but yeah, I think that's one of their strong points. I haven't heard much about customer service from other companies, so I couldn't really tell you. Right. The only company that I've really ever had to have any kind of customer service related experience with was Bowtech. I used to have a Diamond Deploy as a kind of their budget carbon bow. That's made by Bowtech, and I dry fired that one. Yeah, that's 2 bows I've talked about that I've dry fired. I've actually dry fired 3 different bows. How about that?
Mr. Dry Fire.
I went about 15 years without ever dry firing a bow, and now a couple of them were like not real. Actually, no, I didn't dry fire my Hoyt. What happened was I shot an arrow that I didn't know was broken.
Yeah.
I knocked an arrow that I didn't know was broken, so it essentially dry fired it and derailed it, which was fine, obviously. Then the Elite, that when I dry fired it, I was using one of those anti-dry fire release things, and I was pulling it away from my face to check the
where your field point was.
No, I was pulling it away from my face to check where I was trying to set my limb stops. So I was looking to see where they were, and when I pulled it away from my face, that thing slipped off there. I dry fired it. So I've learned pretty well now. I don't ever draw my bow back for any reason without an arrow knocked. Obviously, that didn't work with the Hoyt because it was a broken arrow. So now we're going to broken bow.
Yeah.
There's also a broken arrow in Oklahoma. How about that? Anyway,
never been there.
Not to get off on a tangent, but yeah. So I did have a customer service experience with Bowtech, and they were pretty good too. That was maybe a 3-year-old bow at that point, and they gave me a brand new riser and cams for free.
Yeah, it's nice.
Wow. I wasn't expecting that at all. I thought I was just gonna have to eat it, and I was already in the market for a new bow anyway, so I wasn't expecting to get anything done with it. And
did you sell that bow or you keep it?
I did sell that one, yeah. And that was it was a good beginner bow.
I still have my first bow was a Diamond. You actually talked me into buying it, and we took it out here we took it to Broken Bow to public land the first year. It's a Diamond Edge 320. I still got it. I still set it up for whoever wants to shoot, to learn.
Yeah, I think actually when we first met, I'm pretty sure you were kind of anti-bow hunting.
No.
I feel like you were. Me and James are brother-in-laws.
I was just a dumb gun hunter.
Me and James are brother-in-laws. I met his wife's sister back in 2019. Yeah, we've been married for a few years now, and we both had a passion for hunting, but James wasn't a bow hunter at that time. I thought I remember him saying he wasn't interested in it.
No. bow a long time ago, like like the little kids stuff
Yeah.
when we first moved here. But like, no, I always just shot guns, and as a young guy, I didn't, nobody taught me how to hunt. Nothing like that. So I always just rifle hunted what I could. Kind of probably broke a few laws on the way, but
Yeah. Yeah, we
now
all
I
do a
try to
little
be
bit of that, don't we?
responsible and bow hunt only, except for ducks, geese.
Yeah, I wouldn't say I completely do it only, but it's really the only way I like to do it. I will come down here, and actually where we're going this weekend is not too far from where I've hunted for a long time, and I come down here sometimes for rifle and muzzleloader season and out with some friends that I've made down here over the years, and it's just kind of fun. It's a different thing. It's laid back. We just kind of everybody just does big group rifle hunts. It's a pretty fun deal, a little bit different.
Yeah.
From the kind of this little more hardcore kind of hunting that me and James have gotten into the past couple of years. So
yeah, western Oklahoma, eastern over here.
Yeah, so that's a cool thing that I wanted to mention too is the differences from one side of Oklahoma to the other, because
the middle's got all the trees and all the rain, or half the trees and all the rain.
And if any of you guys that have been to a TAC event and haven't been to the Oklahoma one, you need to stop sleeping on it and come to Oklahoma, because I know a lot of people hear Oklahoma and you're like, I don't want to go to TAC in a wheat field or whatever. No. This is not that.
We're so close to Arkansas.
I'm talking to you, MFJJ and Elk Shape out there, Dan Staten. Better listen up, because you guys want some pretty country, come down to southeast Oklahoma.
That's nice.
It's kind of like the Smoky Mountain area, but a smaller version of it, and it's real pretty. The area that they have it down here is around Broken Bow Lake, which is probably the second prettiest lake in Oklahoma, next to Ten Killer. But Oklahoma's kind of a cool deal, because we're pretty fortunate to have grown up here, because there's such a variety of different kinds of
animals,
terrain, and
area.
stuff.
Yeah.
So it's actually, I learned a few years back that Oklahoma has more different. I think they're called eco regions. They've got, I think it's like 13 different eco regions, more eco regions than any other state, which is pretty cool. We got a pretty wide range of.
Just look at where
terrain
where we're normally hunting is like probably south central. Would you say?
Yeah.
Where Denny's at. Where Denny's at, it is like you're lucky to find a tree that's like you got to search. We got good sized trees that we can put a tree stand in pretty much anywhere. Over here, they got more trees than they know what to do with on the east. But west side of Oklahoma, I mean, the trees are small. Like
they're small and they're sparse, and they're you don't have to.
Still good.
You can
deer.
see for miles in western Oklahoma.
Yeah, really, really good deer. A lot of pigs.
Central Oklahoma is a lot of cedar trees and a lot of all kinds of trees, but there's a bunch of cedar trees, so that kind of makes things a little bit less visible in certain places. And then when you get down in here in southeast Oklahoma, this is thick, heavy wooded pines, and there's some piney woods, and then there's also hardwood forest down here too. So
that cedar helps you cover up, though.
Yeah,
a little.
But it's really pretty down here in this part of the state, and there's differences in the deer in different parts of the state too. These deer down here you might find some with similar racks if you get lucky, as western Oklahoma. Probably not so much. They're generally going to be smaller down here from what I've seen.
Yeah.
But the bodies are definitely smaller
down here.
Yeah. Oh yeah. They're not up there eating corn and wheat and getting all the nutrients and stuff. They've got nothing but acorns down here, and whatever a hunter decides to pour out for them to eat. They don't just have limitless supplies of crops and things like that. So I think they stay a little bit smaller in size.
And I would like to hear, it's always kind of known a little bit. Like I'd like to hear from like a game warden or something of what's the most poached area. Like down here, you always kind of hear like there's a lot of poachers, or there's this or that. Like where in central Oklahoma or western Oklahoma, I don't hear that as much, but maybe it's just more people.
Yeah, I think that's probably why. I think this is a little more remote area, and there's a lot of people down here that are kind of living off the land and stuff.
There's so much like public land.
I heard a deal a while back about a bear poaching thing. There's black bears down here in southeast Oklahoma, and somebody had got in trouble for poaching black bears, and I read about it on a news thing or something. And anyway, I was talking to my friend that lives down here about it. He's like, "Oh yeah, that happens all the time. It's not really anything special. Not been any big news." So yeah, unfortunately, that's just the way it is in certain places. And
I think the public land everywhere else in the state is just probably a little bit smaller.
Oh, a lot smaller.
And there's houses, so it's like people live close there, ranchers live close. So
this is huge down here. This is a 260 or 270,000 acres of public land that's down here.
You get lost.
That's all one public land piece.
Or Bigfoot will find you.
Yeah, this is Bigfoot country too. I got friends down here that swear they've seen him. So I'm not going to count it completely out, I guess. But
Moultrie would have caught him by now.
Yeah, you would think so. Moultrie's pretty good at catching everything, aren't they?
Oh yeah.
What's going on up here?
What we got going on? Trucker.
Anyway, I didn't look like somebody maybe was trying to wave us down or something. I couldn't tell.
No, it's just a flashlight. We're good.
Just letting us know they're there. Anyway, yeah, guys, we just wanted to get on here really, and this was our first time since we started the channel that a couple of us have been able to get on together and have a little discussion, and maybe try to make a little somewhat of a podcast episode, kind of like, they got Buck Truck, we call this Tack Truck.
Oh, we love Buck Truck. Oh, Tack Truck, huh?
Yeah. Once a year we gotta get on Tack Truck.
Yeah. Well, the truck's gonna change a couple times, I'm sure.
I'm sure it will, but we've enjoyed being on here and talking to y'all about what we're doing, and we're really excited about it. We're really excited about where hopefully our channel's headed, and we're only gonna keep trying to get better and make better content. We're just kind of feeling things out, learning it right now.
Yep. I'm looking forward to shooting tomorrow morning and taking a bunch of pictures and videos. We'll see how we shoot.
Yeah.
We'll let you know who wins.
I think I already know who that's going to be. Anyway, thanks for tuning in, guys, and stay tuned because we're going to have some pretty good tack footage coming up here in the next few days.
Yep.
Appreciate it.
See you.